All right. We are working on lesson 2.3 rotations. And with our rotations, we are going to do this 2 days. Today, we are going to focus on identifying a rotation, identifying the direction, and how many degrees. And we're going to do it fairly simple. The next day, we'll go deeper and we'll look at this coordinate points like you guys just did with that exploration. I'm going to skip this first part. Today's goal is that I can rotate the figures around a coordinate point. Now, we just did this part. Let's go to, in our foldable, it says a rotation. You need to fill this out in your foldable. So, it says, rotation is a transformation in which a figure is rotated about a point called the center of rotation. The number of degrees a figure rotates is called the angle of rotation. It is also called a turn. This is still not that first part, so we'll fill that out.
This is different from
Rotating. Are you on rotation? It says dilation. Rotation.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Call the
On the top.
It's okay, Keith.
Alright. So figuring this out with us, it says the transformation is a figure that's rotated about a point called the center of rotation. Center of rotation is where, kind of like that fidget spinner, when I hold that in the middle and I spin it, or my fingers are holding that fidget spinner where it's sitting spinning, that is our center of rotation. All the other points are rotating around that point. How far we rotate is going to be called our angle of rotation. And for what we are going to work on, there's 3 main things that we're going to discuss. And you're going to want to try to draw this somewhere in your notes, just real small. But I'm going to do it right here. 1, for your homework today, we are going to discuss which direction we are turning. So, when I have a point here, and I turn this direction, I turn it to the right. That is called what?
Rotation.
Well, it is the angle of rotation, but what do I say? We're turning which direction?
Oh, kind of clockwise.
We're turning clockwise.
That means the way the clock goes.
Yep. Clockwise
Way off.
is just like if you laid a clock down flat, which way would the hours be turning?
Down.
Clockwise.
So,
Right.
obviously,
Clockwise.
if we go the opposite direction, that is where we are going to say turning left is counter. Gentlemen, what do we need to be discussing right now? Then why am I hearing all this other stuff?
So are you, Coach?
Blake,
Just shut up.
are you needing to address this across the room?
No.
Okay, then I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
So this would be counterclockwise. And then the last part that you're going to need for today if you want to have it in your notes, I just found a little spot that would help you out. The last one is we're going to talk about the degrees. The angle of rotation is kind of what we talked about how many degrees. We're going to make it very simple to start off with. We're going to say 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, 4 turns. But we're basing that off of that this is really a circle. And a circle is 360 degrees. So if I take my x-axis and my y-axis and I turn them just one time, so this point ends up turning to this spot. That is 90-degree turn. We take it and we make this spot end up down here. But it's the same thing all the way across. If I go from there over one, that is all 90 degrees.
It's just all 90.
If I go from this spot to this one, we are also turning 90 degrees. And then if we start on the x-axis and go back to this spot, each turn we are going to do is going to equal 90 degrees. We have 4 turns. 4 times 90 is 360 degrees. That is what's making our circle. 360 degrees is a circle. Since we know this, we can use this directly for today's assignment because we are going to talk about turns and we're going to talk about degrees and we're going to use it in increments of 90. So, identifying a rotation. You must rotate a puzzle piece 270 degrees clockwise to fit in the puzzle. What I want you to do, use your transfer paper or your tracing paper. And I'm going to pull this up. What I'm going to do is you can take your tracing paper, even if you already have something on it, it's okay. But I want you to copy the X and Y axis down.
Then don't do it.
You can get your stuff, you may go.
Huh?
You may go.
Go where?
To Miss Nordwall's. I'll get you at 8th hour.
Okay.
Copy down the X and Y axis. Charles, this way. Miss Nordwall's right through this one. Okay, we've copied down our X and Y axis, and I'm going to copy down my piece. Once you have this, what it's asking you to do, I want you to see if you can find the correct answer. When it asks me to turn this to, my paper ain't staying down, to turn this 270 degrees clockwise. So physically, take your paper and be turning it. Go ahead, do so, and then find out what your answer will be. So you're going to put your transparency paper here. Hi. You need someone? Who? Who? Oh, yeah. Go grab it. I thought she said yes. I thought she said someone else. I was like, no. Okay. So if we look at this, here is our puzzle piece. Copy it down. If we're turning it 270 degrees, how many turns is that going to be? Damari? It's going to be 3 turns. So everyone go ahead. Copy it, and you should make it 3 turns. What? Huh? You don't have to.
It's actually Vietnamese.
Okay, physically you should be turning it 300 or 270. So 3 turns. Which shape, A, B, C, or D, should we end up with? Okay. Your correct answer should have been C. Here is the shape. Let me get back to mine. Okay.
Whoa.
Here's how you do this. I turn it once. That's a 90-degree turn. And I'm going clockwise, so I'm turning it to the right. I'm turning it a second time. 90 plus 90 is 180. I turn it a third time. 3. So then we match it. Which shape would it be?
I thought it was D.
I will do this one for Dum Dum. So you have to show it to me though. Which figure is rotated 180 degrees clockwise from the origin? This shape.
180 degrees. I can't see it. Me too. Is there
Use your tracing paper.
Boom. I know. Sis will call me.
No.
If I can have a sucker, then call me. But if not,
How many turns are we going to do for 180 degrees? 2. 90 plus 90 is 180. Ricky.
I actually did it right now.
Ricky, which one will it be? Okay, let's check to see if Ricky did this right.
yeah, Ricky.
I can still use my old paper and I'm going to copy this down. 1 turn, 2 turns should have been B.
Let's go. I got it right.
Alright,
We should all do the dumb dumb because you all got it right.
Technically,
now,
hey, yo, I'm your literally favorite.
now, you just said something that's really great, and we'll hit it up on the next day, but Alejandra said if I would have went counterclockwise, it would have been the same. Isn't that you that said it? Counterclockwise, well, let's think about it. If I went clockwise 180, but I went counterclockwise 180, 180 plus 180 is, so I would end up the same place. If I went 90 degrees clockwise, how many degrees would I have to go counterclockwise to match up?
270.
270, I'd end up the same place. We'll work on that a little bit later. Here's what you need to pay attention to. Your homework. Facing up here. Ooh, I gotta hand back your quiz. That's why I gotta finish. I knew there's a reason. Okay. Listen to this carefully. Close attention. 1. On all of these, you are describing the rotation. You need to say, turn clockwise and how many degrees. Our choices are 90, 180, 270, 360. So on 6, 7, 8, you are comparing from coordinate point 2, 7. And if I got to 7, -2, which direction? Am I going clockwise or counterclockwise? And how many degrees? Use your transparency paper if you need. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Is it a rotation? If it's no, you say no, you're done. If it is, tell me I turned it clockwise this many degrees. Okay? That is due tomorrow. Okay, your test.